This adventure starts in beautiful Seattle, Washington, where we'll be setting off on a 7-day cruise to one of my favorite places on Earth, Alaska. And it is made all the more special because this is also me and Chelsea's honeymoon. And after a long wait, we are excited to begin our voyage on Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas. It feels so good to be on the ship. Before we really start to kick off this adventure, let's go through the living space that we're going to have for the next 7 days. As you can see, we got a workstation over here that has turned into like my charging station, my little office. And then we have a nice couch. This couch actually can pull out into bed, which is really cool. And then we got this really soft, nice comforter from Royal Caribbean that we're gonna very much take advantage of while we're cruising and lounging about. It's gonna be cold. We have tons of space that we have set up. I have my jackets and stuff hanging here. I have folded and put everything nice and organized away. We have a full king size bed, which is amazing. Because look at all this space. And then one of my favorite things is I don't have to get up to turn off the lights. I can actually turn off the room lights with a switch right next to the bed. So that is fantastic. And then coming over here, first actually, Chelsea's clothes. It is our honeymoon. She is here. She is using space. And then bathroom. We have a lot of space in this bathroom. So obviously I can stand and I'm not going to be claustrophobic in here. We have plenty of counter space and a nice shower. So the last thing I'm going to show you is this little thing that Chelsea did. These hooks aren't here, but they're little magnetic hooks that Chelsea got so we could just hang stuff by the door, which is going to make it a lot easier to just grab a hat and go. So with that, we are now ready to enjoy our first day on the cruise as we get ready to leave Seattle. So we're gonna relax and continue this tomorrow. Our first day at sea, and we are greeted with a stunning sunrise. I can't imagine anything better than waking up with a hot coffee and the fresh ocean breeze. After enjoying the sunrise on our balcony, we decide to head out to get some much-needed breakfast before starting our first day at sea. Dining is probably what cruises are best known for, and this ship is no exception. However, there are a couple things that really stand out to me. Like before entering the dining room, everyone has to wash their hands, and I think this is incredibly safe. I am all for it. Also, I absolutely love the fact that we have so many different options every meal, even with our dietary restrictions.
After an incredible start to this journey, the weather takes a turn for the worse. As we cruise into Juneau, we hit stormy weather. It's hard not to be bummed. Today is the day we take the North Star to give us a bird's eye view as we sail through the beautiful fjords of Alaska. And as we make our way to the glass pod that will hoist us up 300 feet over the sea, we remain hopeful that we may get a break in the clouds. But once we begin to ascend, it becomes clear no break will come. But this change in perspective really gives us a sense of appreciation. Even though the weather isn't perfect, we think about where we are and all that we get to do, and the many amazing memories ahead. Docking in Juneau, the thick fog clears, revealing the dramatic landscape around us. We are overwhelmed with an excitement to take in all the beauty Alaska has to offer. We start off visiting one of many glaciers on this trip, responsible for shaping some of the most incredible ecosystems in the world. After our hike, we head out to experience one of the main attractions of the area, whale watching. Witnessing families of humpback whales in the wild was truly something special, and the only thing that could have made it better would be seeing orcas in the wild, which is definitely a bucket list item and something that will be shared on this channel one day. With the end of our whale watching adventure, we head back to the ship to unwind as we set off to our next destination.
Chelsea, come cheers me.
Early in the morning, sailing into port, I am in awe of the incredible view surrounding us, building my excitement for today's adventures. I can't help but spend the morning drinking coffee, just soaking in the view before we head into Skagway. After walking around the small town of Skagway, we take the ferry over to Haines City, where we plan to go on a wildlife expedition through Chilkat State Park. The plan is to take a canoe around the shoreline to look at the diverse wildlife thriving in this remote forest. And fortunately for us, these canoes have a motor. So on a windy day like today, we can still focus on what is around us instead of struggling to paddle around the lake. The Chilkat River attracts nearly 4,000 eagles along its 5-mile stretch. Not only that, it also attracts coastal brown bears, some of the largest bears in the world. And this is all because from June until October, 5 different species of salmon come to spawn, and it becomes a feeding frenzy. There's something really special about Alaska, and it is surreal to be cruising in between these mountain peaks and that we've been sailing 2,000 feet above their valley below. Not only that, the fact this forest surrounding us is only 300 years old is an incredible demonstration of life always evolving and changing. It is exciting that tomorrow we will sail up to one of the glaciers responsible for carving the incredible mountainscapes that surround us. Today is the day we sail up the Endicott Arm to see Dawes Glacier. The way up is beautiful, and we make sure to head out to the dining room early for what will be the best breakfast view we have ever had. There's a sadness to this view, however. Like this one, glaciers all over Alaska are rapidly receding, which means the beauty here we have come to see will soon be gone. But there is also a positive to this. The receding glaciers have opened the path for beautiful lush forests to cover this land, and that is something amazing. As we make our way back out to sea, the sun starts to break through the clouds, breathing life into the ship, and activities begin to open. And there's one in particular I have been waiting for the weather to warm up for.
Okay, about to do the cold lowrider right now.
Boogie boarding on this was not terribly hard to get, and it was a ton of fun. But working my way up to surfing, that was another story. Now, through the power of editing, I made this look way more graceful than it actually was. It goes without saying, I never got up to surfing, but there were some people who made it look easy.
Today is an at sea day, so we are going to start our little pub crawl of all the bars on the ship.
Our first bar we want to visit is the Bionic Bar. This bar involves no human interaction at all, and the bartenders are these crazy cougar arms. This is honestly the coolest part of our bar crawl. It is wildly entertaining to watch the precision in which these things move. One thing of note, we totally thought these would be the weakest drinks on the cruise, but this robot makes them strong, and it was a perfect start to our bar crawl before we catch a final show to end the evening.
Bar number 4.
The final stop on our cruise, and it is the best weather we have had the whole trip. Our stop, Victoria, Canada. And all we have planned today is a casual walking tour around the city, which may not be the most exciting, but it proved to be full of interesting sights with planes and boats sharing the harbor, which was insane to see. I can't imagine taking the plane tour and landing in that narrow harbor sharing the same space as the boats, although probably more exciting than walking the city. Honestly, walking around the city is one thing we wouldn't recommend at this stop. If we could redo it, we would have planned one of the botanical garden tours or whale watching. But we still had a blast before getting on a water taxi so we can get ready for a nice dinner on the ship for our last day aboard. Our last evening aboard the Ovation of the Seas, we enjoy a delicious 3-course meal at one of the main dining restaurants. We definitely recommend participating in them. The chefs can literally cover all dietary restrictions and make it delicious. After dinner, we relax and enjoy our final sunset at sea. This cruise was incredible, and we are so glad to have spent our honeymoon here.